Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on The Merchant of Venice, and today we get to hear from Shylock in Act 2, Scene 5. But since yesterday we finished up Act 2, Scene 2, quick recap of the stuff that happened in the interim between yesterday and today. So real quick recap of yesterday. In Act 2, Scene 2, we met Lancelot Gobbo, who is a servant to Shylock, who wanted to leave Shylock's employ and go work for Bassanio instead. And he played a weird little game with his father, and then he goes into Bassanio's employ, and by the end of the scene, he's decided he's leaving Shylock. He's going to go work for Bassanio instead. So Act 2, Scene 3, we meet Shylock's daughter, Jessica, and she's chatting with Lancelot Gobbo, who has just told her that he's leaving, and she's like, "Oh, but you were like the only good thing in this house. How can you leave me?" And Lancelot Gobbo's like, "Yeah, but I gotta go find somewhere happier to be." And she's like, "Okay, well, since you're going to work for Bassanio, would you please take this letter to Bassanio's friend Lorenzo?" And Gobbo's like, "Yeah, sure, will do." So he leaves, and she gets a brief moment on stage by herself to say, "I'm going to marry that boy Lorenzo, and I'm going to become a Christian just for him." So now we've got another side plot. Anyway, that's the end of Act 2, Scene 3. Act 2, Scene 4, we have Lorenzo and Graciano and Salario and Salanio, or Salario and Salarino as they're known in the folio, just the boys whose names start with S's. And they're talking because Lorenzo and Graciano and the boys whose names start with S's are working on a plan to get Jessica out of Shylock's house. She is actually embarrassed to be Shylock's daughter, which is sad, and she's embarrassed to be Jewish, which is sad and kind of a disturbing character quality for her to have, but that is what that is. But anyway, these four guys are working on a way to get her out of the house so she can become a Christian and then go marry Lorenzo. And Lancelot Gobbo shows up, and he's like, "Here, I have this letter for you." And Lorenzo's like, "Cool, would you go tell Shylock that he's invited to dinner at Bassanio's?" So Lancelot Gobbo leaves, and then Salario and Salanio leave, and Graciano and Lorenzo have just a brief moment where Graciano's like, "Isn't that letter from Jessica?" And Lorenzo's like, "Yeah," and it details exactly how we get her out of the house and exactly how much stuff she's going to be able to bring with her. So we're a go. We're going to bust her out. And that's the end of Act 2, Scene 4. So Act 2, Scene 5, where we are today, we're back at Shylock's house, and Lancelot Gobbo is talking to Shylock and has just told him that he's leaving, and Shylock is like, "Oh, well, yeah, good luck working for another master, because you're not going to like it there as much as you liked it here with me." And Gobbo's like, "Yeah, but you're invited to this dinner at Bassanio's," and Shylock's like, "Oh, I really don't want to have to go." But he calls for Jessica, and she comes in, and he's like, I have to go to this dinner that I really don't want to go to, but I need you to hold down the fort, like literally hold down the fort while I'm gone. Don't let anybody in, all that sort of stuff. And Gobbo's like, "Oh, come on, but this dinner is going to be fun. Like, they may have even arranged for masks," which is just another word for entertainment. Like, they would have put together a play or some sort of performance to happen during the dinner. And Lancelot Gobbo's like, "Yeah, but they may have even gone so far as to arrange these masks, so the dinner's going to be great. Why wouldn't you want to go?" And Shylock is like, "What? Are there masks?" "Hear you me, Jessica. Lock up my doors, and when you hear the drum and the vile squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber not you up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street to gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces, but stop my house's ears, my casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. By Jacob's staff, I swear, I have no mind of feasting forth tonight, but I will go. Go ye before me, sirrah, say I will come." So he's giving her orders that once he's gone, she's supposed to lock up the house and stay inside and not look out the windows. And if there happens to be like revelry happening in the streets, she's not supposed to look at it or listen to the music or any of that sort of stuff. And then he reiterates that he really doesn't want to go to this dinner, but he's going to go probably out of spite. And that'll be that. So Lancelot Gobbo goes ahead, as instructed at the end of Shylock's speech to tell Bassanio that he's coming. And one more time he's like, I really don't want to go. And he leaves, and Jessica's like, and now I have the house to myself. So I can run away and lose my dad, who's going to lose his daughter. But I get a husband. And that is the end of Act 2, Scene 5. So we will pick up in Act 2, Scene 6 tomorrow to see what happens with this whole escape plan. I will see you then for that. Mwah.